This is TWiT.
Evan Williams, the CEO of Medium, announced that he is stepping down from his role. He's going to be replaced with a new CEO. Medium felt like the company that should have been like the logical extension of Twitter, right? Like, if short thoughts are good, long thoughts should be better, right? Except I still don't think Medium has any clue what it is. It seems like when Ev Williams started this thing,
several clues.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead, Patrick.
Changing. Well, no,
just keep changing.
This is a guy who, basically made blogging practical, and then blogging was too long, so Twitter happened, and then I think it was just like, well, maybe this is out of control, and I can't actually handle following 100 people and getting 273,000 tweets a day. So I'm going to have long, thoughtful, engaging content, and then I'm going to change the plan every couple of years, every 18 months, every 6 months. I mean, you read some of these articles and it's brutal because it was like, and then we did this, then we did this, and then we did this. And mostly it's like, as somebody, who's, written or created video for, it's just like, and then we did this to the content creators, and they did this to the content creators, and then we did that. We're going to pay you by, and it's kind of crazy when you look at some of the models they were, if you get a clap, you'll get paid. If you get more claps, you'll get paid more. And it's like, does anybody know about the claps? I don't think.
Are we Tinkerbell fairies over here? Yeah.
If it gets me paid, make me a Tinkerbell fairy. I'm happy, but I don't think anybody ever got paid or it ever scaled in the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
Kind of had its luncheon by Substack, right? I mean, and the whole direct audience subscription model, which reminds me of a lot like internet radio, where you had Pandora, which is free to use, and they struggled to make money because it's kind of difficult to go from free listening to asking people to pay, which is the only really sustainable model at that scale, to Spotify, which started as a paid model and did direct negotiations with the rights holders. I think it's the same thing with Medium starting free. You get the big audience, right? But it's kind of at long term not necessarily sustainable. Where Substack, you start off with the paid model, and you can start small and grow from there.
It is just funny. Like, reporter friends of mine, multiple ones of them actually have run into Ev Williams, especially back when he started Medium, and they would talk to him about it, and he'd be like, they'd be like, how's it going? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what this company is. And that was, what is it, 2022? That was a decade ago. And it seems like, they are still kind of having the same problems. It is weird that Medium is essentially, let's make it easy for people to write on the internet, as if, Blogger or WordPress or literally any other tool didn't exist. So I don't know. Do you guys have any love for Medium at all?
I do. Maybe y'all haven't, you wouldn't come across this, but Medium, I have a soft spot in my heart for them, just because every time there's a big tech event in San Francisco, there's always a secret meeting for the women in tech, over at Medium that they'll hold, which I've always appreciated. I mean, that's very valuable space during something like WWDC, where you'd be able to get contacts. So I've always been deeply appreciative of that. Norman, I do agree with you. There's the difference between starting with a paid model and starting with basically a blogging model, which everyone out there will let you do. I think if you want to get to the really core thing going on, I think this is something, y'all should be upset about, which is how hard it is for writers to make money with the basically ad duopoly that's going on, Google and Facebook. We have people, the human race overall is reading more than we have ever read before, just as a matter of time and hours and material. We're spending more time doing it, but the amount content creators are being paid for a CPM keeps going down and down and down and down. And I see Medium as trying to be a good steward of that, saying, look, we're going to try to make a page, make it readable, make it easy to use, make it easy to link, and just running into that reality that, Google is going to keep and drain every last dime that they can and keep it for themselves. So I really see it as like a victim of these larger market forces that I think is bad for journalists and writers, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's not like I have issues with Medium as a company. I wish it was more focused, but it does speak to writing is hard. Being a journalist is hard. It's and media right now is incredibly difficult. Anything else you guys want to add to the Medium thoughts here?
I love how readable and how well presented that stuff, and there's certainly an incredible value to that user experience. But I think, and it maybe kind of ties to thoughts on like TikTok is, of course, at first glance, my reaction as an internet old is, this is scary, this is new, this is different, it's too noisy. But there's a lot of credit to be given for how those creators are taking advantage of those platforms and understanding the nuances of how to create content for those platforms that I don't want to dismiss. And they put just as much effort into finessing their content for those platforms. I think the same way works for text, and I love text. Love reading. The indexability of text, I think, isn't something that video is going to be able to approach anytime soon, and has been a problem for video. But one thing I think about in terms of like SEO and poor CPMs is how, for example, like recipe writers, right? How they have kind of leveraged their format and finessed their format to work with, and kind of the unfortunate realities of poor CPM and a Google-dominated landscape to survive and make money, and it's kind of a form of its own.
Absolutely. I mean, I spend a lot of time on TikTok these days, mainly because my daughter is really into it, and it is really interesting to see like a whole new medium kind of form in real time too, because people are just learning about it. So there's something exciting about TikTok, but it's also like, if you guys remember so many of the some of the early Black Mirror episodes, I think was it 10 Million Merits, one of those really early ones, that idea of super poppy, super a platform where you always kind of have to perform in a sense. TikTok is also like the distillation of all that. So it is both like really compelling and kind of scary too, to me. Yeah.
I just don't know how you get the olds on there. I really don't. Like it is a format made.
Not everybody has to be on it.
20-somethings. Yeah, it really is.
But I also laugh because a friend of mine has a couple of nieces, and he was like, I went on TikTok and I was horrified, and it literally sounds, I hear Alec Guinness's voice in my head, a villainy of a hive of villainy and scum and villainy. And I was laughing because I was like, I watched like an hour of construction DIY and some diesel stuff on there earlier, and a whole bunch of nature stuff. So it's all keyword based. What exactly did you start searching on at TikTok that led you into this?
You're feeding it, right? You're feeding it.
Yeah, you're feeding the wrong wolf here, man. And that's what. So TikTok is a really surreal place in that it really feeds you what you want, and he was just kind of, I could actually feel him sort of like leaning back on the phone, kind of horrified that he was actually responsible for generating if you clicked on this, you get this, you get more of this, and it's just the way it works. They don't really care which creators are out there unless you subscribe to them. It's all about keywords and stuff, and it's like. It's interesting to watch, right? Because at some point, I think the rule of thumb at this stage is like, if the olds are on there, then it's dead, or you just happen to be a bleeding edge old, and it's I enjoy a lot of the videos I see in there because it's fun to watch electricians show off what they do and how they do it, and it also allows me to look around my house and go, oh, what were they thinking? Even more so than I was, before watching 150 TikTok electrician videos. But it's curious, right? It's also painful because Brianna, you mentioned like the CPMs dropping through the floor, and the last time I saw it, I think TikTok is playing like what 2 to 4 cents per every 1,000 views, like a 2 cent CPM, a 4 cent CPN if you're part of the TikTok Creator Fund. And so, and so a lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to cast this very broad net using YouTube, TikTok, anything else I can use. and then I will try to feed them towards some platform where I can actually generate revenue, whether it's t-shirt sales, Patreon, my crafts, whatever it is. And it's been really curious to watch how this has evolved over the last few years or the last couple of years. So
I'm liking this idea. I'm going to start my Porsche TikTok with my Porsche collection. We'll go out there.
I mean, that's all you need is stuff to shoot. And you've got a lot of cool stuff, Brianna. Like just looking at your Twitter feed, like you've got so many toys.